Basketball, you betcha. I'm back. It is the Daily Trainer, and I'm here to give you what you need, guaranteed to succeed each and every day for the game that you love to play. And I just want you to hear what I have to say. That's it. Today's episode is listen to podcasts, right? Now, why do I say this? I say this because you're getting the real raw information from legends. I mean, legends are bringing in legends, current players are bringing in current players, and you continuously hear the same thing over and over again, which is what basketball is, right? And really any sport, right? There's only certain variables that happen in a game where you don't feel comfortable, but at the same time, everything you're hearing and doing and trying and wanting to be is the same. So these podcasts, even though they joke a lot on there, hone in and take some of the serious, clips and stories of these players that are really speaking to you, right? All good podcasters, there's Carmelo Anthony's podcast, who does a really good job of covering kind of everything from young to old and current players in the league and in under and in college and all those things, where they're just giving you stories. Now, they have their bias, don't get me wrong, but that's not what we're paying attention to. Maybe they didn't like a coach. Maybe they didn't like a certain way, somebody played. Maybe they play a certain way and they don't like how basketball is being played today. That's not really what you're looking for. You're looking for, I used to wake up at 6 a.m. and do a workout and then go at 10 a.m. and then go at 4 p.m. and then go at 7 p.m. Or I have my son doing these things. These are the stories you're looking for from like a Gilbert Arenas or Jeff Teague. They're more joking on their podcast. They don't really give you a rundown of like what they do all the time. They're more just entertaining and information, and that's okay. No hard feelings on that, but it's just you have to utilize your time because there's so many podcasts, so many episodes, and a lot of talking, and you're scrolling and you're looking for information. It's going to take some time to do that. But like I said, there's a lot of good podcasts. LeBron's podcast does a good job as well of breaking some information down and some vocabulary. Great addition having Steve Nash on there. And then just some things to look forward to where you're more looking for information that's going to help you create your own schedule, right? And so that's why I'm asking you to listen to a podcast, because now you can come to Basketball U, put workouts together, and then create a dribbling schedule, a shooting schedule. I did a little bit of defense on here, so you can do a defensive schedule. Or you can merge it to where you do certain things on certain days, and then you have a specific, 2 days or a certain time frame where you mix all the workouts together and then you have a full workout. So these are things to consider when watching podcasts and why it's important to do that. Overall, besides listening to the training aspect on a podcast, you want to also embody those stories where they talk about like the loneliness and depression and sacrifice they had to make to become good at what they do. And sometimes we look at all the glamour of it and how many people care about what you do, but at the end of the day, no one is in the gym really with you other than the people that care to see what you're doing. No one's in the gym with you to see all your mistakes and the bad parts of the process. They only want to see the results. Well, at least the masses do. And so another good thing that podcasters do is they really talk about their hardships coming up and trying to figure it out. And sometimes it's success in high school, hardship in college, but figuring it out. Then a really hardship in the pros, and then maybe figuring it out, but then some don't. And so why didn't they? What happened? And how do we scale back all the way where we are, trying to make it and trying to figure out, okay, he went through that, she went through that. how can I not go through that? What learning curve can I hurry up and learn so that maybe winning a sprint all the time in a college workout helps me play more? How do I hone that in and understand that now in high school, right? Because I can't see that far ahead to know. And nobody expects you as a basketball player to know that. And so that's why you want to take not only what I have on this channel available, whatever you want, doesn't have to be everything. Taking what a podcaster says, honing those two things together, and really just making yourself a complete character player, a complete basketball player, and really just a basketball mind that can not only help yourself, but help your teammates. Really, that's the important piece too, is like, this game isn't only about you. You have to play with 4 other people, 10 other people, depending on what kind of team you're on. But just honing in that information to know on the floor to teach the people that don't know. Sometimes the best player can be one that talks a lot too. So if you're not very good at anything, just kind of okay at everything, but really good at talking, that's a skill. And that's a skill you should hone in. And if that takes you learning this from everybody else talking and podcasting and watching these things to just repeat what they're saying, it's going to help somebody on your team. And then lastly, with the podcasting situation and just really taking in their stories, it's the drive and the chip on their shoulder that they had, even though they were good or they felt themselves getting better. They still have this thing when they talk, like, I'm still good. Some of them still think they can play in the NBA right now, knowing that they can't due to their shape and what it really takes to be effective in an 82 game season. But at the end of the day, they still have that chip. They have that chip. And I think that's why there's so many podcasts out there too, because they're like, I can do that too. I can compete with him. I can talk about that. I have the same stories. So the competition level is always heightened. And that's the ultimate thing that separates the good from the average, is how competitive you are. So take that in as well. And with that, I hope that this information is guiding you in the right way. I'm just trying to guide people in the right way with information. So more episodes to come. Please check out the training as I meshed some of my guys together in a group training to help you with whatever we were working on. I'm sure it was something with driving to the rim, and finishing is really a big pet peeve of mine right now because I see so many people not being able to do it, and it's supposed to be the highest percentage shot in the game. Basketball U, thank you for coming through as you always do. Remember, someone's always working. Are you?